1989. That was the first time I knew that there was a word called corruption. And that was also the first time that I knew what it meant. It was all because of a story that was broken in the Chronicle, the Willowgate scandal. That was the first time also we started as Zimbabweans knowing how corrupt our government was. Joffrey Nyarota, he was the fearless journalist who turned the powerful into quivering wrecks, and today he has filed his final story. The veteran investigative reporter who practically introduced Zimbabwe to the concept of holding the corrupt accountable has passed away at 74 after a battle with colon cancer. And no, it wasn't a government-sanctioned hit this time. The enemy was natural. Nyarota's journalism career was nothing short of legendary, but his real claim to fame came in 1989 when he exposed the Willowgate scandal. For those who need a refresher, this was Zimbabwe's original masterclass in government corruption. Ministers like Frederick Shava, Kalistas Ndlovu, Tsingai Mtumbuka, Morris Nyagumbo, and Enos Nkala were caught red-handed flipping cars for profit after being given VIP access to vehicles from Willowgate Motor Industry. Shava, Mugabe's blue-eyed boy, was convicted of perjury but was promptly pardoned because in Zimbabwe, real crime isn't stealing from the poor, it's exposing those who do. Like I said, this was the moment when the word corruption entered Zimbabwe's national vocabulary. And let's be honest, it hasn't left since. Thomas Mapfumo, the Chimurenga music guru, even sang about it in his single titled Corruption. What was the reward for the exposer? Remember, Nyarota was working for the Chronicle. It was a government newspaper, but now it was behaving in the eyes of government, in the eyes of ZANU-PF, it was behaving like an opposition mouthpiece. So, Nyarota lost his job, while the looters lived to loot another day. Nyagumbo, a nationalist who was also involved in this, was not able to stomach the scandal. Because of shame, he reportedly took his own life. Shava, he went on to enjoy a long and comfortable political career because in ZANU-PF, getting caught is just a minor inconvenience. Despite the backlash, Nyarota never backed down. He went on to found the Daily News in 1999, the paper that gave the government more sleepless nights than an IMF audit. His reward? A bombing campaign. First the offices were bombed, then the printing presses were bombed, because the regime prefers explosives over editorials. Awards followed, as did exile, Harvard fellowships, and books dissecting Zimbabwe's never-ending corruption saga. Even in his later years, he was still watching, still writing, still reminding Zimbabweans that corruption wasn't a moment, it became a way of life. Even as cancer ravaged his body, Nyarota fought on, though this time his battle wasn't just against illness, but against financial ruin. In a country where journalists expose billion-dollar scandals but can't afford medical care, friends had to step in with a fundraiser for his treatment. And the champion of this fundraising campaign was none other than Hopewell Chingwana. The irony would have made him chuckle if it weren't so tragic. Tributes have been flowing like offshore bank transfers after a shady government tender. Trevor Ncube called him a pioneering investigative journalist, while government mouthpiece Ndavaningi Mangwana admitted, perhaps grudgingly, that Nyarota left an indelible mark on Zimbabwean journalism. Meanwhile, veteran editor Brezhnev Malava dropped the pleasantries bluntly stating that some criminals he exposed in the 1980s are still masquerading as political leaders. No need to squint. He means exactly what you think he means. Nyarota leaves behind his wife, 3 children, and a legacy that no amount of propaganda can erase. From his early days at the Chronicle to shaking the corridors of power with the daily news, his pen was mightier than the regime's bombs, at least for as long as he could wield it. He lived to see many of the crooks he exposed cling onto power, their pockets fatter, their lies grander, their impunity greater, but he also lived to inspire generations of journalists who refused to let the truth be buried under government press statements. Journalists like Hopo Uchungano, journalists like Blessed Mhlanga. As Nyarota files his final copy in the newsroom beyond, one can only hope that up there, editors don't get fired for speaking the truth. And for those of us still stuck in Zimbabwe's never-ending political soap opera, his work serves as a reminder. Corruption may have become the national sport, but someone has to keep the score. Rest in power, Joff. You exposed the thieves, dodged the bombs, and left the truth for us to carry forward. And to our viewers, if you want more fearless journalism, more stories that make politicians sweat, and more truth that refuses to be silenced, hit that subscribe button. Because the best way to honor a legend like Joffrey Nyarota is to keep his fight alive.
Nyika yedu yaparadzwa nemakoronyerezano. Nyika yedu iri kutongwa nenhubu dzezano. Vana kushikorora ngova damberega rega mafekitari yakafara kare kare. Imi Mwari Baba ndimi makati munozivavo konamo yeZimbabwe ichapera rini mambo tamirira taneta tichafara rini mambo tatarisa nguva dzese uchauya rini mugove patinoti titaure tinodzwazve kuhondo kuti tikosore tinoswera tave musheri zanu haina tsitsi nevana veZimbabwe vatana nevarwere vakatokanganikwa kare. Imi Mwari Baba ndimi makati munozivavo konamo yeZimbabwe ichapera rini mambo tamirira taneta tichafara rini mambo tatarisa nguva dzese uchauya rini mugove. Vakavava Mugabe vakatobviswa negidi, pakauya Ngwenagarwe akatopinda zveginya naiyewo anoda kufira pachigaro. Imi Mwari Baba ndimi makati munozivako konyamo yeZimbabwe ichapera rini mambo tamirira taneta tichafara rini mambo tatarisa nguva dzese uchauya rini mugove. Nyika ora yaparadzwa nemazano, nyika yedu inopisa kudarika gena, makoronyera ezano yationesa chimoto. Mwari burukai muite kuda kwenyu. Imi Mwari Baba ndimi makati munozivako konyamo yeZimbabwe ichapera rini mambo tamirira taneta tichafara rini mambo tatarisa nguva dzese uchauya rini mugove. Imi Mwari Baba ndimi makati munozivako konyamo yeZimbabwe ichapera rini mambo tamirira taneta tichafara rini mambo tatarisa nguva dzese uchauya rini mugove.